A short Fluttercord story by MLP Crossovers. Read by Ilya Leonov. Ponyville was completely bustling, ponies running around in excitement and wide smiles on their faces. The reason? Their newest alicorn ruler, Princess Twilight Sparkle, had just gained her own castle. Where her library once stood, a new tree had sprouted, tall and strong. After the defeat of Tirac, the Tree of Harmony used its magic to send the Diamond Box out, causing it to take root and sprout a new castle. How, exactly, no one really knew. Perhaps Celestia did, but if so, she revealed nothing, except for the pride of her former student and fellow royalty. Of course, Twilight's friends had their share of the limelight. They had all played key roles in opening the crystal container, quite literally. The Lavender Alicorn made sure all of her friends got equal attention when near her. None more, none less. Discord, however, was a bit of a different story. Of course, no one blatantly mistreated him, not as they had before anyway, with loud comments and reminders of what he had done in the past, not that he had minded then anyway. No, it was obvious Discord had finally found his true alliance. Of course, that didn't stop some ponies from giving him a few nervous looks. Of course, Discord never blamed them. For goodness sakes, he had taken over Equestria twice, betrayed his friend's trust for Tirac's lies. For all his deceit, Twilight should have left him in that bubble and sent to Tartarus with the villain that had once resided there in the first place. But she chose to free him instead, insisting Tirac free all of her friends. Before these events, Discord had viewed friendship as a joke, or a way to weasel out of being mischievous, or to get Twilight to do what he wanted. But now, it was something much more precious than when it had been first introduced to him by Fluttershy. But again, most ponies didn't know that, but Twilight and Fluttershy both strongly insisted Discord get equal treatment. The other four weren't as strong in their efforts, but they too reluctantly admitted they thought Discord was finally over his rough stage, finished tilting between evil and good. But though the ponies put in an effort to give the Draconequus the friendship that he had wanted, he still felt rather lonely. The preparations for the festival were nearly done, and yet Discord had no clue what he wanted to do. He didn't really want to be with a whole crowd of ponies, since it was so out of place, but he didn't want to be alone either. What a conundrum this is, Discord sighed, placing his long muzzle in his mismatched hands. He was, at the moment, in Fluttershy's small cottage, sitting on her couch and watching the young mare feed her pets. How well she worked with animals, he observed. Though she was such a timid little Pegasus, even big animals like manticores she wasn't nearly as afraid of as she should be. Well, except for dragons, she was terrified of dragons. The golden pony looked over at Discord with her wide, sensitive blue eyes, sensing his mood.
"You haven't been talking much, Discord,"
she said in her timid voice, walking over to him.
"Are you all right?"
Well, Fluttershy, I'm in a bit of a pickle. You see, I'm not quite sure what I want to do for Twilight's festival. What do you usually do at these sort of things?"
"Well, I don't usually go,"
Fluttershy said, ripping her head shyly.
"I was never really invited to parties before, besides the gala. Even then, I stayed at the garden where all the animals were. I suppose I'm just going to be where my friends are."
You make it sound so simple, Discord thought with a crooked smile. I suppose you're right.
Besides, you always know how to make things interesting, right?
Fluttershy smiled warmly. She hadn't meant it as an insult or anything other than an honest opinion that Discord appreciated. While other ponies had a hard time trying to think of compliments, Fluttershy never did. She always found the good in every pony, or even Draconequi. I suppose, but ponies don't tend to understand my sense of interesting. You're going to have to help me out.
Of course.
Fluttershy placed a hoof on Discord's lion paw.
Of course I will, Discord.
Discord's ears twitched backwards as he felt that tingly feeling in his chest. Whenever Fluttershy touched him, it was there. He had only felt this feeling once before, but that was a long, long while ago. He had forgotten those feelings once he had become the god of chaos, but now that he had friends, things were a bit different. But this wasn't friendship, he felt as he stared into Fluttershy's sky-blue orbs. It was something stronger. Discord smiled back at his winged companion. Well, thank you, Fluttershy. I greatly appreciate it. I don't really deserve that. His bushy eyebrows furrowed as he scrambled to catch up with what he had just said. His chaotic state sometimes caused him to speak whatever was on his head without him knowing.
Oh, now stop it, Discord.
Fluttershy reprimanded, her gaze hardening.
You keep saying things like that. I won't tell you this again, so listen. You may have done things in the past, but we're focusing on what's happening now. Now, Discord. And if any other pony thinks any less of you for the past, well, they can just...
Her cheeks turned red as she realized how angry she was getting. Discord chuckled, tickling her cheek with the fuzzy end of his tail. I do believe that's the most violent thing I've ever heard you say, Fluttershy. The mare surprisingly giggled, her bashfulness causing her to hide behind her long fuchsia hair. Discord reached out a claw and swept it to the side, revealing Fluttershy's entire face. He tucked the locks behind her ear and said, You really should think about wearing your hair like this. I've only seen your entire face about once. Fluttershy stammered and blushed.
Well, I'll try to, I'll think about it.
Her instinctive shyness battled with not wanting to hurt her friend's feelings. Discord patted her head. There, it was just a suggestion. You don't need to get all worked up about it. He gave her a toothy grin and chuckled. Fluttershy's muzzle was pinkening increasingly, which Discord thought was adorable. His paw slowly moved to trail on her cheek, lingering for a while. That small, precious face looked back up at him, innocently blinking in confusion. Fluttershy, he said, I'm going to be blatant with this.
Oh.
Fluttershy's ears tilted backwards nervously.
Okay.
I have feelings for you. Now I know you could never feel this way towards someone like me, but we're friends, and I don't think we should keep secrets from each other, so here it is. I think I'm in love with you, Fluttershy. The yellow Pegasus looked shocked, her eyes round and wide. She looked at a loss for words, until finally her muzzle flushed a deep shade of red.
Discord, I love you too.
She flew up to him and gave him a tight hug.
I love you too,
she said, louder, a wide smile spreading on her face. Discord caught Fluttershy with surprise. Really? Even after everything I did? Even though what I am?
What you are doesn't matter,
Fluttershy said, looking at him fondly.
It's what's inside that counts.
She placed a hoof on his chest, to which the Draconequus blushed.
And I know you're good inside, and you've shown everyone you've really changed.
Discord, not for the first time, was surprised at how bold Fluttershy could be at times. This usually shy pony had up front confessed her feelings right back, once he had announced it. He knew this was right, when home had gone from a place to a being. Grinning, the Draconequus leaned his head forward, using his paw on Fluttershy's cheek to push her forward. Their lips met in a kiss, and Fluttershy's wings spread wide in surprise. Discord smiled at the Pegasus expression, pulling away for a moment. "What? Too pushy?"
I liked it. It was interesting.
Discord stuck out his lower lip, tilting his head. "You didn't like it?" he teased, pretending to look away in shame.
Of course I did. I just wasn't ready.
"Do you want to try it again?" As they leaned forward to kiss again, Angel stood behind them, tapping a big foot in exasperation. He rolled his eyes, heaving a sigh.
"These things always happen right before my feeding time."